Okay, so we have another example. We're going to put everything on the left-hand side, and we're going to keep it in standard form. So we're going to have our 8x cubed minus 24x squared plus 18x. Notice that when those terms come over, they're changing their signs. Equals 0. So we keep it in the equation, and now we have the polynomial on the left and 0 on the right. Okay, so notice that these exponents go 3, 2, and then there's a 1 there. You can't see it because we don't usually write x to the first part. We don't usually put the 1 there, but it's understood to have an exponent of 1. Okay. All right, so now we're ready to factor. So I'm going to think about what would be a GCF. I think 2, and also an x. So I can take out 2x, and I get 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. And then notice in the parentheses now, that's a quadratic polynomial. It's got a degree of 2. So when we took that x out, technically it's not a quadratic equation. Well, it's not a quadratic equation at the beginning because it's x cubed. So I don't know if you noticed that. You might have been concerned. But when we factored out the x now inside the parentheses, that trinomial, that is x squared. Okay, so we're going to keep going. We need to try to factor that trinomial right here. So I'm going to use the AC method again. 4 times 9. Hey, maybe it's a perfect square trinomial. I think it is. Okay, so if we wanted to do that, we could say, forget the AC method, 2x squared and 3, and then is that middle term going to be 2x times 3, times 2, right? You got to double it. So that's right, it is a perfect square trinomial. Oh, I can't spell perfect. So you might remember that from our special products, and it says that if you have that situation, a squared could be, this case is minus, it could be plus, but minus 2ab plus b squared, then that's going to factor into a plus b, oops, no it's not, a minus b squared. Okay, so that's what's going to happen here, and my a, this is my a, 2x, and this is my b, 3. A little plus there. Okay, so we have 2x out front. That was our greatest common factor. And then it factors into 2x minus 3 squared. You could use the AC method as well on this. Okay, now what have we got here? Well, we have 2x times 2x minus 3. But that 2x minus 3, the binomial, that is being squared. Now, if you want, if it makes more sense to you, you could write 2x times 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3, if you like the looks of that better. Okay, now we're going to set each factor that has a variable in it equal to 0. So notice that you have 2 times x here. 2 is a factor and x is a factor. Now, a lot of students like to put 2x equals 0. You could just put x, because the 2 isn't going to matter. We're going to divide by 2, and we get x equals 0. But that is a solution. 0 is not always a solution. In fact, we've been doing a few problems, and we haven't had it be a solution yet. But this time it is. And the reason 0 is a solution is because we have a factor of just x. That came from the greatest common factor that we factored out. Okay, then we have a binomial here, 2x minus 3. That could equal 0. Now, this other binomial, it's the same. You don't have to write it again. You're just going to get the same answer. So, okay, add the 3 over, divide by 2. So in this case, we get 2 solutions. 0 is 1, and the other one is 3/2. Now, you might say, well, but you get 3/2 twice. You get it for 2 of the binomials. That's true, but it's the same number, so we don't write it twice. Okay.